Following on from the other day when I had done a monster piece for Connie, I am now using her watercolors that I have had for a while. Her Tasty True Triad palette that I use for my series, the Aquatic Monster series. Now, I haven't done one of these for a while, so I thought it was time that I did one. And yeah, this particular aquatic monster that I am drawing today was kind of inspired by an artist called Matt Dangler. I think that's how you say his name. He's on DeviantArt. I think that's where I found this image. But there is a fish that he has done that I sort of really like the sad look. So I ended up taking some inspiration from his fish and decided to do my own version of it into an aquatic monster. And yeah, just sort of design something quite pretty and quite sort of flowy with a long tail. But I ended up drawing this thing way too big for the bit of paper that I had, and I actually decided to use this rough paper by the Eraldo, however you say it, the Paolo paper. This is actually paper that Chantel sent me a while back. And I've actually got a bigger, I got the bigger pad from Riot online. So what I ended up doing was I wanted to still use this paper, so I ended up getting the A4 size out and then just doing the copy with the carbon paper, exactly like I did with the last one. When I do sketch sometimes in my sketchbooks and I really like exactly how I have done it, I will, when I do the final piece, I will just copy it onto a bit of paper from there and then fill in all the details and then, you know, go from there and do the rest of it. So that's what I did with the face of this thing. So that's, yeah, I just put the face on and then I ended up redrawing the body a bit better and having the big long tail because I wanted this thing to have this huge long tail, and I probably should have started with, you know, the A4 to begin with, but I didn't think I was going to draw quite as large. And I always go in using the A5 bit of paper thinking to myself, I'm not going to draw this thing huge, and then I end up drawing it huge and then I've got to move on to another bit of paper. So that's what happened here, but you know, shit happens. I then added all the flowy tail, and this is kind of like an aquatic sort of monster that is kind of like half fish unicorn with this jellyfish rear end, and that's what I wanted to sort of combine, is like this fish and a jellyfish, and that's what I did with like a unicorn. Because like sort of when I use this Tasty True Triad palette of Connies, I do sort of get like, they're very bright colors, and using bright colors really does sort of put me out of my comfort zone, and that's why I wanted to create this series, because I really do get aquatic sort of vibes from this palette. And it's also because they're beautiful, bright, buttery colors. It puts me out of my comfort zone and sort of extends me to do more prettier things, even though I do sort of turn these things into horrible creatures. Some of them aren't horrible. The last one I did wasn't horrible. But this one is, once again, it's not a horrible fish. This fish is just a sort of a very slow, depressed kind of creature and just swims around. It's like, it's pretty, it's shiny, but it's still a very depressive kind of fish. One thing I love to do with this palette is I love to just put down like a layer of like the blue and then grab some of that purpley color and then sort of dab it into it to give that marbly sort of bleed effect. And yeah, I really love doing that side of things. Now, probably the biggest thing that I regret here at this particular point in time is the yellow I put into the tail. I just wanted to keep it consistent and sort of have have the colors in it sort of draped through the animal. But that's only one issue that I did. The biggest thing that I did was I went over that tail with the sparkly fairy dust little single one that you'll see me use, and just sort of I sort of just went over it and sort of just totally took the color out of the tail. And I kind of wish I didn't do that, but you know, I don't know what, I sort of got a bit excited and I sort of took spots on this fish a little too far. And I tend to do that when I get a little bit excited with certain sort of things that I do with my pieces, and that's one of them. Like, I used to get very excited about the white gel pen and put white gel pen everywhere. I've since sort of reined that in a bit, and I have actually sort of stopped doing that. And now, yeah, I tend to do that with the watercolor now with certain things. So this is the fairy dust I'm talking about, that I layered on just way too much on, just covered the whole tail and then stuck it on top of the fins. And yeah, I shouldn't have done that, to be completely honest with you. And I sort of felt as though I had ruined it. So once I did that, I decided to then go over it with the liner and yeah, try and sort of dull a lot of that down, fix it. And like I said, it's not one of my favorites that I have done in recent times, but it's okay. I do end up feeling like I did salvage some of this fish with the line art and doing the white gel pen. And on that, for some reason, I lost the video part of me doing the white gel pen for this. I don't know what happened. I searched and I searched, and I swear to God I filmed it, but I don't know if I did now. I don't reckon I turned the camera on, to be honest with you. I have done that of late, is not turned the camera on and thought I was filming, and I wasn't. So I think that's what's happened. So yeah, you don't actually see me do any of the white gel pen, so sorry about that, but you see it at the end, so it's all good. But yeah, this is about the time when I was going over this and sort of becoming a little bit more happier with the fish, and sort of dulled down some of that fairy dust on top of the fin with some black tips. Yeah, but I couldn't do much about the tail. I just went over and did some texture on the tail and that. So yeah, it's not too bad. I don't mind this little fella. He's an alright little fella. He's nothing major. He doesn't harm anybody. He just swims around all sad, and but looks pretty. So he's very pretty but very sad fish. So, and if you go near him, like he is poisonous. You can't eat these things. They're very, very poisonous. And yeah, his tail will sting you. Like if his tail does get wrapped around you, it does sting you, but he doesn't do it intentionally. It's just if you happen to be in his area and you rub past him and he swims past you. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, that's the end result right there, and hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.